Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Well,
to Nerd TV as we got our nice little week and a half off, but now it's time to bring you back 2 weeks of or 2 nights a week of coverage here on Nerd TV. This time, Sunday evening. So we're watching the Global Racing League Truck Series as they tackle the simulated Martinsville Speedway for 200 laps here. I'm going to be racing at sunset into the nighttime, so track conditions will change and grip levels will change and how people tackle this track tonight. We'll have to play it as the sun goes down. 68 degrees on the track, 55% humidity, partly cloudy, and winds don't matter at Martinsville, one of the slowest tracks on the NASCAR circuit. And my name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty. And then on the right-hand side of me, Mr. Dustin Loxton doing the producing and my co-partner this evening. How are you tonight?
Ah, man, it was a nice little break for the Easter holiday. But now, hey, it's time to get back to business. And what place to make a statement to get back to business than the paper clip itself, Martinsville Speedway. Long, fast straightaways, very tight corners. It's going to get crazy, Jeremy. You're going to see bumpers being used. You're going to see hot brakes, hot tempers. It's Martinsville, baby.
It's Martinsville indeed. And the trucks are notorious for catching tire spinner on corner exits on long runs. You're going to see the bumper to make some passes. It's really difficult here. But almost everyone I would believe watching knows what Martinsville is. But these guys here at Global Racing Truck Series, we have not watched them here on this short track. So it's all new to us. See how they take 200 laps here this evening. And 6 races in, Chad McGinley's P1 in the points here, has a nice little 58-point lead. Dustin, he's also fastest in practice, so trying to continue that momentum so far this season.
Yeah, and like they said, they were trying to showcase Grim Reaper Motorsports' dominance this season here, and they have done an excellent job up to this point. They really have. I believe the only other person that's actually captured a victory outside of Grim Reaper has been Joshua Slade, who was able to capture a victory. So Grim Reaper's they've been bringing the heat, and they're definitely the team that's got the target or bullseye on their back bumper. And Jeremy, probably not a good place of any to have a target on your back bumper is Martinsville, because drivers are going to be going hard. They're going to have to race smart. They're going to have to utilize their brakes. They're going to have to learn not only the track, but they're going to have to learn other drivers around them, because everybody's driving points, braking points are differently, and it's super easy for somebody to start setting up the corner and brake before you expect them to brake, and before you know it, you're saying hello with the chrome horn.
Yeah, 100% there. You mentioned the really fast team there of Grim Reaper and those yellow spoilers, but third and fourth on the scoring pylon in practice, Michael Hayes in the 1 and Tyler Honeycutt in the 20. Those are both part of Ghost Motorsports, so minus the top 2, the top 3, or they let you 3 or 4. They're looking to put some pressure on this team. They're trying to be the third team to pick up a W this season through 7 races when this thing is all said and done. And by the way, I'm watching their practice times on the track so far. They have the grip. The trucks rather are very stable, and this is going to be an excellent race. I can't wait to watch this thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. And like you said, it's other teams like that from Ghost Motorsports. They've been creeping in. And they do it in a different manner, Jeremy. They don't do it like Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper seems to attack right from the drop of the green flag. They want to be up front. They want to stay up front. Ghost Motorsports looks at that long run. They will work their way through the field, and before you know it, when you've got about 30 laps left in the race, all of a sudden you start seeing drivers like Mike Hayes and Tyler Honeycutt all of a sudden coming into the picture. It's a very different approach, but both of them have been equally good. I mean, both teams have had excellent finishes all season long, and they continue to do so. But this is going to be one of the biggest tests. It really is at Martinsville, because not only are they racing the other teams, they're racing that track as well. And we all know that this track can be a tough one, just like a Darlington as well. It is a very tough track to master, and when you sit here and put 22 other drivers on that track as well, all going for that dub, it can get pretty dicey.
100%. You got 10 seconds left in this practice session, so times are basically all locked in here as they are gearing up their trucks for qualifying. 5 minutes in the session, you get 2 laps to try to make it happen. It looks like Chad McGinley P1 in practice with an 18.639. He's the only truck to run a .6 in practice. So we're going to see if he can't do that or even improve into the fives. We're going to find out. We're going to turn our cameras off, and we're going to focus on the track ahead, as we're going to have 5 minutes of this qualifying session here. Why not? Let's go on the roof camera here of that 65 Chad McGinley, who's been just clearly the favorite for the most part so far through 6 races.
Yeah, he really has, and he's picking up right where he left off. So, again, qualifying and track position is going to be vital. I mean, you're going to see them get heavy on those brakes, right down to that apron right down there, that rumble strip. But the trick is to get as close to it, but not touch it, because if you touch that, that's where those rear tires are going to lose grip, and that's when you're going to loop it off the corner. So far, good clean lap right there by the number 65 of McGinley. But like I was saying, Jeremy, track position is going to be vital here, because you do not want to have to be working through traffic throughout this race, because passing is so hard. Right now, McGinley at the top of the charts at an 18.6, and you have, Hollinger in the 31 just hit the 18, so now we're starting to get some more. You see another Grim Reaper driver, Bobby Mantle, 18.67. So, Jeremy, we're starting to get a number of them here in the 18-second bracket now.
Yeah, and then we got actually 2 more drivers who finally joined the 0.6 second bracket. As soon as you got done saying that, you got Steven Knight as well. He jumps up to number 79 to an 18.671, 0.2 of a second faster than his practice time. And then Joshua Slade, 101 Motorsports driver, the only other team to win this so far this season. He just jumps up into the 0.6 bracket. So 4 drivers, all within, I don't know, let's say 5/100th of a second, and it's a 18.643 for the number 12 there. A lot more competitive lap times, Dustin, in this qualifying session, partly because you don't see the sunlight anymore. That means that track temp's going to keep cooling off here, and that's going to get a little bit grippier. So expect more and more of these times, on the fly after a 4 tire change on a pit stop.
Yeah, and Slade coming in and breaking up that Grim Reaper Motorsports top 4 there. It was McGinley, Knight, Mantle, and McCoy, and then Slade jumped up there with a 0.64. But look at these times, Jeremy, you were talking about it. Knight, Mantle, 18.67. So you got 2 times that are almost dead on right there. Tyler Honeycutt, JJ McCoy at a 0.74. So we have a lot of drivers here that their times are, it's really close. And we talked about him at the start of the race, Mike Hayes, Jeremy. And that Ghost Motorsports number 1 took the top of the charts. And look at that, another time that is that close. Both Hayes and McGinley, 18.62. So this went to not the second decimal point, but had to go to the third decimal point for the tiebreaker.
You don't see it there on the scoring pylon, but that is literally 1/1000th of a second, 18.622 versus an 18.623 virtual tie here. When you're running speeds only about 100, 120, maybe at most on the straightaways, that 1/1000th of a second is a much closer margin than what you would say maybe at a Daytona or a Talladega, where your speeds are 200 miles an hour. So super tightly close group of trucks here in the top 5 all has that 0.6 bracket, and we got 5 drivers left to take any time with a minute and a half left in qualifying.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm excited. These drivers have been showing a lot of promise at this track, and there you get the aerial view of the paperclip itself, and you can see why this is such a tough track. And not only because of the shape of the track and the wear and tear that it does on the driver and the vehicle itself, but you got 2 different type of pavement composites going through the corner, and it's a 50-50. So it's that drastically changes how that car actually handles and grips. But with the way these times are, Jeremy, we have a lot of close times. You look at our pole sitter, Mike Hayes, in an 18.62. You go all the way down to 13th with Sherwood down there, Mark Sherwood, and he's still in the 18-second bracket at an 18.99, only 0.3 off. That's your top 13. That's a very small margin when it goes to that. And even if you look at your top 10 is only separated by about 0.2. So close times, that's going to lead to close racing tonight.
And it's going to be A lot of fun for us to call. Hopefully, it's a lot of fun for you all watching here this evening. Hopefully, you chat in with us on the YouTube and Facebook side. We'd love to hear feedback and just have a conversation as this awesome 200 lap race is about to begin. I would like to thank one of our partners before we go here to race time, just to make sure, I'd love to give shout outs, and we got a little bit of time here before the green flag. So, long-time standing partner, Martin Sports, small company with a huge time product, the best sim gloves in sim racing, customized t-shirts, hoodies, hats, with full sublimation printing. So if you have something for your team, let's say if Ghost Motorsports or 101 or whoever needs apparel for the team, don't even question it. Head yourself over to martinsports.gg and talk with Scott Martin over there. He'll get you hooked up. And if you do purchase anything from the website, 25% off, huge discount when you use promo code SUPERNERD at checkout. And Dustin, here we go. Gridding up here on the front straightaway. Starting lineup for tonight's The Clip 42. Michael Hayes, P1. Chad McGinley going to be starting in second. Joshua Slade in third. Stephen Knight in fourth. In the third row, Bobby Mantle in fifth place. Sixth place, number 15 of DJ Honeycutt. P7 will be the 20 of Tyler Honeycutt. Eighth, JJ McCoy. Ninth place, John De Matteo. And the 10th place, starting driver here, Zach Hollinger. 11th will be the 85 of Justin LeBlanc. 12th, Danny White. 13th, Mark Sherwood. 14th will be EJ Luna. 15th will be Carlos Henriquez. And 16th is Michael Dow. 17th, and the last person to post a qualifying time is Stephen Hayes in 13. Rounding out the rest of the field by iRating is going to be the 99 of Austin McGill, Ron Harrington, Ronald Holmes, Kenny Heath, and Michael Lester. Round out tonight's 21 truck lineup for the Clip 42.
Jeremy, it's about to get good here as finally we are getting the gridding all set. That means these drivers are about ready to roll off for their pace laps coming up to the green, their formation lap. It's gonna get good. This track always poses some amazing racing, much like a Bristol or Richmond. I love short track racing. You don't see, as far as paved racing, you don't see action better than at a short track like that. You also get the mix of that short track temper. I think the only type of racing that is very similar that you get that kind of action, Jeremy, and we've called it here on Nerd TV way back in the day, is dirt racing. Some of the best racing that you've seen in side-by-side. These tracks pose it, so short track racing is definitely where it's at. So sit back in your seat, folks, because it's going to be one hell of a ride. It's going to be a fun one tonight.
Yeah, 100% there. NASCAR, I know, recently has purchased Bowman Gray Stadium, so you never know what to expect if we can have a Martinsville 2.0 in our hands here in the next few years. Hoping this race goes pretty clean overall. This is WrestleMania weekend, so for those wrestling fans who are also trying to tune into this and watch that at the same time, they kicked off their show 8 minutes ago. So
don't ruin it for us. Don't ruin it for us.
Please do not. I'm going to watch it back, the entirety of it, what I've missed from this event. So that being said, Dustin, they're going through 3 and 4 for the final time. Pace car is down. Michael Hayes in the number 1, going to lead him off in that Black Rifle Coffee Company Toyota Tundra. And here we go. Green flag's off for the Clip 42. And clean restart, or start for the race, at least through the gears to get down to the turn number 1. Leader still side by side, single file behind that. The 89, a little check up there on the bottom as they go to turn 3.
Yeah, this initial couple laps, Jeremy, 3 wide there for a moment there. That John De Matteo on the bottom, Tyler Honeycutt was there, and then you had Zach Hollinger up on the top side in that 31. But these first couple laps are going to be so vital. These drivers need to get set in. They need to get set into a groove. And you already see the bumping going on here. Drivers trying to get used to each other's lines. Jeremy, this is going to be a pivotal moment here to try to not bring out an early caution, because you know as well as I and probably a lot of the fans, typically cautions breed cautions. People get impatient and things just go awry. So they just need to get set in a groove, get a couple laps in there, and then start making their moves for these drivers that are a little further back.
Already up 2 spots. Already see JJ McCoy up 2, EJ Luna up 2. two of the fastest movers so far through the first 3 laps, 3.5 now as they're on the back straightaway to turn number 3. And a lot of single file and spacing out, Dustin. We've covered quite a few Martinsville races since we've started Nerditudes 3 years ago. And I don't know how many races that number is, but they've never gone single file this quickly into a 5-lap session at the opening flag for any Martinsville race. So these guys are just going to take their time around this track, at least for a little bit, because you got 200 laps, plenty of patience to be had.
Yeah, no, we have not seen them go single file like that.
I'm gonna. You kicked it over to replay. I'm sorry, but I jinxed it. Yellow flag is out here, first one of this evening, and it's gonna be right here. The 33. Ronald Holmes just simply loses it and drives it into pit road. That's kind of an impressive spin out there for the number 33. Then the number 6 there, Michael Lester. Was he coming out of pit road and just T-boned him right there? No, he did not.
No.
We'll have to take a look at that one. That was I don't know what he was slow on the track. Diamonds turned 1 and 2. In his angle of attack, use the word attack here. I'm not sure. So is there a flare-up situation? Was there? And he's driving backwards and almost collects the leaders. Man, that was so close.
That was so close.
I've never seen that either. I've never seen single file Martinsville in 5 laps, and I've never seen someone just attack someone on on pit road exit like that.
I haven't either, and like I said, I don't know what Lester was doing, because he was taking a service road there that's actually not part of the actual racing surface or pit road at all. So he was angling it out to go in there. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but the initial spin by the 33 of Ron Holmes wasn't what brought it out. He was off the racing surface. It was when he went to back up and contact was made, and it sent him further out. His truck then crossed that line onto the racing surface, and then when he backed up to try to get it straightened out, that's when iRacing ended up throwing that caution. So that was just that was a very, very odd series of events that took place to bring out that caution, Jeremy. Only 2 trucks involved, luckily enough, because as well as I, short tracks, usually when wrecks happen, they get clogged up. Pretty bad. So there's not a lot of room or places to move. So, this one here, it only collected the 33 and the 6 on that one there. I am getting on YouTube. So K-Smooth, so Kenny on the YouTube chat, one of the admins here, said, and that makes sense what was going on, said that Lester's VR went out. So Lester runs VR on that in his VR, so he lost all video, couldn't tell what was going on that, was just trying to get off the surface. So that makes a little bit more sense, Jeremy.
What are the odds that you're driving and you get a caution, which is great for that situation because you guys are slowed down, but what are the odds of you just turning into, I'm not saying it's fabricated or anything, I believe you 100%, but it's just like at any point in time that could go out, and you just happen to turn the guy who spun almost into the pit road exit backwards. He was kind of tucked in behind the wall, and Michael Lester's VR headset going out perfectly timed in that instance and found him. That's pretty crazy there, but yeah,
that's like the perfect storm. If I was Lester, I'd definitely go and buy some lottery tickets tonight, because that's like the perfect storm of events to take place that led up to that caution.
It really is here. They're back to 2 wide. They're just going to go back to green flag racing here in the next half a lap as Ronald Holmes in the 33 finally exits pit road. So he's 4 laps down and shuffled back real far, real quick here as we're going to be resuming on lap 12. Remember, we have 200 laps here tonight. And you see the yellow spoilers on the first 2 on the bottom, and then the black ones there on the top. Bunch of different teams within this top 10, and one there, Michael Hayes, does not get a launch as he wanted, and it's going to allow Chad McGinley and Stephen Knight to zoom past their single file 1 and 2 in the 2 wide on corner exit turn 2 on back.
Yeah, did not get a good start on that, and when you are starting on that high side, it is pivotal to either get a good start or get to the inside as soon as possible. And Mike Hayes was not able to do that, and you see it leaves that inside line, that preferred groove, wide open, and you see DJ Honeycutt trying to take advantage of that, and Slade is right behind him as well. Once they sit here and duke it out and figure out who's going to go ahead of who, You're probably going to see the 12 slide by as well. You got good side-by-side battle in there with Bobby Mantle and JJ McCoy. So, Jeremy, that single file patient racing that we seen just 4 laps ago is all but out the door now, because now you got drivers going side by side. You see them beating and banging off door panels, making cuts left and right. This is where it can get real hairy real quick.
As this track just ages, the outside can really just maintain with the bottom. You get such a great launch on corner exit. You really choke up the inside car, who's, the grip levels on this track are going down and down and down the more laps you run on it, of course. As you see, the number 20 of Honeycutt running on the inside of the number 31 here, Zach Hollinger, makes that pass happen. But more times than not, you'll see a lot of 2x2 just because the inside truck or car cannot make the run on corner exit.
Yeah, you can really choke them up. And like you said, you take that racing line away as we have another caution out on the track, Jeremy. We're going to try to cycle through and see what happened here.
Yeah, I'm taking a quick look here, and it looks like the 33 of Ronald Holmes just continues to be loose. And turn 1 and turn 2 is not his friends. Here on his lap 11, just slides it, tail slaps the outside wall and continues. That's more like a NASCAR style caution where someone just hits the wall without spinning and they still throw the caution. But that it was warranted on the iRacing coding because he was really slow in front of 2 trucks that are passing him right below him.
Yeah, and those are ones that a lot of times us as drivers were like, why did that bring out a caution? I mean, this stuff's hard-coded into iRacing's coding. You know, that if a car is on the racing surface, if it goes so many degrees in one direction, it's considered a loss of control, and therefore can trigger and throw a yellow flag. If it happens and the car slows down too much compared to what it should be on the track, iRacing could throw a caution. I think that one there, it didn't seem like he met the degree of out of control, but the speed with the 2 trucks there, I can get it. But then, we always ask ourselves, well, he was up in the 3rd groove. He was out of the racing line. The other 2 trucks, they got by without any issue. But this is, this is kind of what we have to work with here. That's put into iRacing. There has to be ways to generate cautions, and sometimes the cautions turn out like that, and we just kind of scratch our heads and say okay and move on.
Yeah, and it's not a real person doing it. It's iRacing saying, you know what, 1 + 1 does equal 2, and we're going to throw it. So we got a lap and a half left before we go back to green. Going to shout out another one of our partners, iRacing iFlag. You can find them at iRacingIFlag.com. They make a customized 3D printed light board that gives you up to 20 plus notifications that iRacing has to offer you. So if there's car high, car low, you got a meatball, you're really slow, and you got the blue flag with the yellow line, it's going to display it in a bright fashion, and it has multiple brightness adjustments. So low, medium, and high, completely customizable. Like I said, 3D printed, so you can have your team name on there, your car number. You can pick from a plethora of colors on either the text or the base. They have protectors. It's pretty cool. Almost a one-of-a-kind product to complete your sim rig. So if you want to pick up something like this, head over to iRacingIFlag.com. And then, of course, Super Nerd is our really famous code over here, and that's going to save you 15% off what you do purchase at iRacingIFlag.com.
Yeah, an awesome piece of equipment there. And Jeremy, they also offer a digital pit board as well. Kind of takes the place of some of your black boxes that some of these racers do use. So your estimated fuel based on how you've been running it, how hard or light you've been doing it, it will calculate that fuel usage and show it on the digital pit board. So you don't have to keep flip-flopping between boxes as well. So they do offer a number of different things. So definitely some good products. Go take a look and check them out.
Physical F-key boxes. I love it. Whatever you can do to complete the sim rig. There's buttons all over the place on some of these things, and I'm here for it. But here we go. Green flag is back out for the 3rd time, resuming on lap 21. 65 McGinley gets a great launch over Steve Knight, allows him to drop right in front of the 15 DJ Honeycutt, top 3 single file, 2x2 on 2, the rest of the way back.
Look at this hornet's nest. We got a little bit of contact there between the 20 of Tyler Honeycutt and the 26 of De Matteo going into the corner. That's common practice. A little bit of bumper tag there between De Matteo and Luna. So again, this is a hornet's nest right there as we got a car way out of line up top. I believe that is the 13 of Stephen Hayes that shot way up high coming out of the corner there.
Yeah, when I saw that orange and white paint scheme, I know exactly who that was. That Whataburger Chevrolet Silverado. We have Stephen Hayes, and yeah, he's going to regroup. And we got a third caution here on the track presented by Boomer Button Box. This time it's the 26 John De Matteo, turn 1 and turn 2 once more. 3 for 3 on this corner, and they were getting pretty racy, as you said, but this came down to the 31 of Hollinger, looking to the inside, misses the brake. Actually, no. Matteo kind of, I think, moved down a little bit into Zach's line and sent him around in the corner.
Yeah, that one there, we're going to have to take another look at it. We're going to take a look from the far chase on that one and kind of see what took place. A little bit of bumper tag right there. Let him know, hey, I'm here. He's going in. Man, I don't know. That De Matteo was just following the line that's going in. I mean, the 31 did not have anything on the inside on that one, Jeremy, going in, and he was way low. So there's certain, and I don't want to say etiquette when it goes to this, but that's about the only word you can say, is when you're going into a corner like that, you got to make sure that you have enough on the inside to let that driver know, hey, I have that position, don't come down. And from what I seen from the replay, there wasn't enough on the inside there. You know, the 31 of Hollinger just did not have enough nose on the inside of De Matteo as he was just following the entry going in, because you arc these entries. So it's that's going to be common practice, though. I mean, it's nothing heinous on Hollinger's part or anything else. I mean, that literally is short track racing, folks. That's what's going to happen time and time again, because these drivers are trying to make every opportunity count to make passes, because it is that difficult to pass at this track.
Yeah, and there's no official rule in the rule book that says that spot belongs to you if. There's nothing like that, right? So it goes to the etiquette, it goes to just rules of thumb that you should just kind of be aware of as you're driving. And that's one of those gray areas, right? If you're a road course racing fan, you know you have to have the fender completely under to accept that corner is yours. And if you don't, the car in front of you, it's their corner. So if he chops down and you bump him, just like how Hollinger did, then it's the person that's behind that's at fault. But NASCAR's different. It's a little more of, it's up to you to decide that. And so you can see Hollinger look down low. That means he wants the spot. And so John Matteo had two options. Either A, I know he wants it, I'm going to give it up. Or B, I'm going to fight for it because I want this spot. Both are completely fine. But that just led into a little bumper tag there, and just enough to lose the grip on the rear tires of the 26 and send him around.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it's typical short track racing. I mean, it's bound to happen. And one thing to keep in mind too is these drivers' eyes are bouncing from their windshield to their mirror, their windshield to their mirror. So especially when stuff happens so quick at a small short track like Martinsville, when you're going down the straightaway, that's typically when you're looking in your mirror to see where the other drivers are at. So, I mean, in the 26's eyes, he could, possibly seeing that, okay, the 31, I know he wants that spot, but he doesn't have a bumper or a fender underneath me, because it wasn't until they started braking when the bumper actually crossed that threshold. So he possibly looked back up and then was focusing on hitting his arc into the corner, because we talked about it, Jeremy. If you miss it and hit that rumble strip on the inside, you're gonna loop it. So you got to focus on that aspect as well, as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Another excellent start by Chad McGinley in that 65.
Race resumes on lap 30 here. 65, clean jump. This time they're going to bring DJ Honeycutt up to second place as he slides in front of Stephen Knight. The 79 goes off into turn 3. Side by side is McCoy and Slade. And then you got Michael Hayes here on the number 1 looking at the inside as McCoy makes the pass complete. Not enough room for Joshua to get underneath, or at least in front of the 1 here, as they're now going to go side by side down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and this is tough racing on this one here. And like you said, I mean, you seen the 12 there. He had the 1 cleared, but he knew that the 1 was there. It's a driver preference on what they want to do. These guys obviously want to try to get some green flag racing going, so they're being a little bit more conservative. You sit here and try to pull a move like that with 3 laps to go, probably going to be a different outcome. But Jeremy, I'm telling you what, driver to keep your eye on right now is a driver of that number 15, DJ Honeycutt. He has been making a move up through the field, up 4 positions right now, and he is splitting these Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers up, and he has been all over the back end of the 65 of Chad McGinley, our race leader.
3 drivers up 4 spots. That is one of them. The other ones are JJ McCoy and Stephen Hayes and EJ Luna. So 4 drivers up 4 spots. Those are your fastest movers through 33 laps here at the Clip 42, presented by the Global Racing Truck Series. It looks like the 20 is going to go to the inside of the number 89 here. Bobby Mantle in turn 3. He's going to try to make a pass here and just cannot get the hammer down in time. They're still going to be nose to nose in turn 1.
Yeah, drag racing down the front and back stretches here. That is typical of Martinsville. And Jeremy, depending on the 2 drivers, they could do this for a number of laps on end. You know, typically one driver's tires is probably going to overheat and wear out, and one's going to have to back off over the other. But these 2 have been duking it out nose to nose, matching each other's entry and exits all the way through each corner now for the last 2 laps, and it doesn't look like they're wanting to let up, Jeremy. They're still side by side.
Excellent racing between these 2 here. Just the outside is working so well for Bobby Mantle right now, but at the same token, you are chewing up those tires a little bit more. So eventually, if you cannot make the pass, you're going to just have to be the better man and say, you know what, Tyler, go ahead, just take it. I know you need it. I know you want it. And I got to save my stuff here. But he's Dustin. He's continuing to drive it hard in the corner. Look at that wide exit into the wall.
There it went.
Yep. The tire temp's a little too high and lost the grip on the nose of that truck. And he's going to lose the spot to the 31 and to EJ Luna in turn 4.
Yeah, and if he's not careful, could lose it to Danny White in the 64 if he elects to follow the 24 of EJ Luna through on the bottom side as well. If that door does not shut before Luna clears, which it looks like it will, so that right there may save him, but we don't know what damage that could have done. That was, it wasn't a light wall tap, wasn't a heavy wall tap, as Luna into the wall there a little bit. But again, these trucks we're used to seeing that at Martinsville. These things can take a lot. As man, Danny White drifted up, almost got the left rear quarter panel of Mantle on that one there on corner exit. So racing definitely getting hard and heavy right now at Martinsville as these drivers are trying to make up any spots that they can. And Jeremy, you made mention, drivers that are up 4 and 5 positions, those are your biggest movers. People out there are probably like, well, that's not very many spots. You got to understand how hard it is to pass here at Martinsville. I mean, you just seen Tyler Honeycutt and Bobby Mantle go 4 laps side by side just to gain 1 position. It's not an easy task to pass clean here.
And there's been cautions too, so it's not like you can pass on a caution. You have to do it on these green flag runs, which this is the longest one we've had so far this evening as we're approaching a quarter of the way through. 42 laps in the books out of 200. Here's your top 5, single file, +1, so 6 in this group here. And DJ is holding on strong, Dustin, keeping a really good margin here, losing just a little bit to Chad on corner exit, and then huge pressure from the 79 and 22 by DJ. He is on top of this wheel. He cannot make a mistake.
No, if he makes even the slightest mistake and slips up, I'm talking not getting on the brakes to set the corner entry, just enough, getting on the throttle just a split second too soon. He has got 4 or 5 drivers behind him right now that are ready to pounce. And I mean, they are right there. But Jeremy, take a look at this running order. The top 5 right now, all Toyotas. We don't get to a different manufacturer until the 12 of Slade, who is running a Chevy Silverado. All 5 drivers in the top 5 are running those Toyota Tundras. We have a caution presented by Boomer Button Box.
I had it on my screen off of turn 2, continuing to be the trend here at Martinsville tonight on iRacing. The 89 going bad to worse. Bobby Mantle gets into the left rear of Danny White, who had those 2 have been fighting for position for the past 5 laps or so. After he dropped back, the 64 had slid into, we see Ronald Holmes. I don't know who brought out the caution. I guess 2 incidents at the same time.
That's what it looks like.
On the front stretch.
Yeah, it looks like it was both at the same time because that was on the front stretch there with Ron Holmes coming off. But this is the one that you were talking about, Jeremy, is the 89 going on the inside there. And this right here, you're going to see the 64 Danny White. I mean, just right on around there. And I would have to say this one right here was probably the one that brought the caution out because you had more trucks, in the way and in line there as he locks it down, does stop from taking it back up the track. And I guarantee you got drivers like Michael Dow, and the 81 there of Henriquez that is probably pretty darn happy that he kept it locked down on the bottom there because they would have been in tow to take that hit.
Yeah, excellent job to do that. We see half the field on pit road. The other half elects to stay out. The back half in, the front half out. As we're looking at another angle of this Nerd TV replay here. And okay, yeah, I was wondering if there was a pocket of air there, or if
It
the
looks like there
64
was.
just got loose, and that pocket air just punched the left rear corner there of Danny White, sent him for a full loop on the back straightaway. And yeah, tough break for that. Still the 33 of Holmes. He also took the tow truck, so he's going to tow plus get repairs if needed and tires. So bad to worse also for that 33. 8 laps down, scored last time by.
Yeah, and this is a tough track. This is one of those that they call a driver's track. You know, as a driver, you either like it or it's not your cup of tea. Jeremy, you and I have known each other for over 2 decades now. You know that there's certain tracks that I run well at and certain tracks that I'm like, It's, there's tracks that it's not my driver preference, just like I know the same thing goes for you. There's tracks you like, tracks that you're not a big fan of. But I mean, that's the racer mentality though. Whether you like the track or not, they're still here, they're still showing up. And I got to give props to them because if this is a track that is not on your top 5 or top 10 favorite track list that you enjoy running, for you to show up here, this is not an easy track to sit here and stomach it and stick it out by any means.
No, I'm not a fan of Texas, but that race is almost like any other track, right? That's a mile and a half cookie cutter, so that I can deal with. But if I hate Martinsville and I'm sitting there like 10th in points trying to progress myself forward, I know I have to be good at a track that I hate and I suck at. Just as hypothetical, of course, even though I do suck here. It's just,
you and I both.
It's so tough, right? So, yes, I do know that. That's both of us that are not good here. That is for sure.
It's such a tough track. It's so
It's
tough.
tire management. I cannot use the right rear enough to get the thing to rotate no matter what car I'm driving. But here we go. Green flag is back out. The 15 kind of misses the start and allows Stephen Knight there. I think he got the 3-2-1 countdown from his teammate Chad McGinley because he jumped with him at the same exact time. Side by side goes the 79 and 15 into turn 3.
And we have another Boomer button box caution flag coming out. This one here looks like it could be for the 6 of Michael Lester on here. So this is right at the green flag going into the corner. And just gets loose. He loses the grip on that right rear there. Puts it up against the wall. But if you notice, he was kind of transitioning between the different pavement patches there going in. So I don't know if he come into pit and had fresh tires or what was going on. But that was just a loss of grip on that right rear there. And when you're putting that much weight jacking going into the corner, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, I was going to ask you exactly that. Do you think it was the transition of the concrete to the asphalt in the third groove? Because to me, that truck looked really stable in turn 1. He got the right rear up on that seam, and then it just looked like he hit an ice patch and just lost all handling of it. So, again, turn 1 and turn 2 troublesome here tonight. But I'm going to have to say, Dustin, that is indeed the case there with the seam.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like, because like you said, I mean, he was good getting into the corner entry was good. It was just when that right rear passed over the white dash lines there, and when the weight started getting on it, so right when he would start letting off and start getting on the throttle a little bit is when it looked like it broke loose. So again, it's another, just throw that in there to another aspect of this track. This is a very tough track, like you said, tire management, driver management, because I mean, you have to learn the other drivers. You have to know when to pass, when not to pass. There's a lot. Pit strategy falls into play on this one as well. And this is not an easy pit road. It's a very slow pit road. Passing, trying to manage passes as well. This is probably one of the more difficult circuits to run on any simulated service whatsoever and in any league. It's definitely one of the most challenging.
It really is. It looks like we're going to have 2 laps to go before we go back to green flag. Dustin, these guys do not want us to watch WrestleMania live as much as they can here.
I thought we had a good rapport with these guys, man. They're trying to stop us from watching our wrestling and everything else. I don't know what we did, but we definitely made somebody shitless tonight.
Apparently so. I did the very bad idea of opening up Facebook for literally 5 seconds, and it spoiled something for me. So I'm gonna keep that thing closed the rest of the way, you know. And yeah, it's nothing big, but it's something I didn't expect to see, anyways. But you know,
you should know better, Jeremy. You know not to open up any social media when you don't want anything spoiled, because that's where the first place anybody goes to start posting.
Yeah, you know, I slipped up. That's my bad. I hit the seam in turn 1 and 2 like Michael Lester did, and I slipped up. That's, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. But half a lap left, going back to green, resuming on lap 57. This is the Clip 42, and that is our name given to this race, because I know these guys love the number 42, and we're going to use it. I mean, Martinsville's a Clip, so why not? So here we go. Back to green flag. Who's going to get the jump here? And looks like Chad did not tell Steven Knight where to start.
Oh,
and
man.
Steven forgot to press the go pedal. He's going to get passed by DJ Honeycutt here. Now look at this number 13. Remember a couple weeks ago how he drove from the back to the front? No problem. Remember, he got loose and way up the track early in this race. And look at him now. Domino affecting here in turn 3 and 4, 4th place.
Jeremy, he was also the driver that this truck was the same truck that flipped last week or 2 weeks ago and was still up there running. As we got a battle right now for the lead, Jeremy. His DJ Honeycutt is really putting the pressure on McGinley. Now, this is the most pressure as he gets loose on exit corner. It's what you were talking about on that low line. They get pinched like that, and they cannot let that thing drift up. They have to muscle it down. Whoa, contact there from the 22 of McCoy on the 15. Still more contact. Oh, no! Saves it, though. That almost looked like a brake check, Jeremy. If I was a racer, I would say DJ was not happy with the use of the bumper from JJ McCoy on that one.
Before you said that, that's what. Oh, we got more wrecking. Oh, Danny White up on 2 wheels there on the 64. Him and Zach Hollinger get back into it. Remember, those two made contact about 15 laps ago and brought out our 4th caution, I do believe it was. And so we stay at green this time, but so far the heat. Oh, more wrecking. The 26 and 31 get back into it again. 6th caution here this evening. And here we go. We are not happy at all.
There's that short track temper going on. That's what we talked about. I stated it at the start, Jeremy. You're going to have wide trucks. You're going to have strong bumpers, hot brakes, and hot tempers. And that's what's going on right now. This one here looked like it even collected the 85 of Justin LeBlanc, though, within that one. So a lot of stuff going on, Jeremy, over the last 4 laps.
We're going to have to try to recap all this, man. So, I mean, we're going to watch the replay here, then we'll recap other things that happened on the track. But here's the 31 coming off of turn number 4. We got LeBlanc there on the outside. He said he was a part of it, so we'll see. You see the 26, De Matteo, he's back. 81 makes an aggressive cut, slows up the 31.
Oh.
De Matteo just full send University, sends him up into turn 1.
Did.
And LeBlanc, nowhere to go. He's trapped. Let's see what kind of contact he makes. Slight front damage.
He might have locked that down, Jeremy.
He's okay. Maybe just a scrape on the bumper, but that's about it there for that incident.
I can see why the 31 of Hollinger was not happy with that move. That was an aggressive intake into that corner there. So, again, that's what these short tracks breed, though. I mean, you're going to have those short track tempers, Jeremy. That's just... it's the name of the game when it comes to this.
Yeah. Zach Hollinger's been with the 64 Danny White a few times. Now John De Matteo. Just Zach's not having a great night. You can see you can't even read the number on the left-hand side of his truck. But let's go back a little bit. You don't have to go to the replay part, but just talk about it.
We're going to try to find it.
We'll see what we can't do. There was some brake checking. Here we go. Perfect timing there. What a way to just randomly click it. But here we go. So we're going to do a little VHS rewind. We're going to recap this. There was contact made the corner prior, right? And so this is a Martinsville strategic move. You can brake check someone without wrecking yourself if done correctly. DJ's been bumped, and McCoy
Well,
has some feelings.
we have to go back at least
we go.
the
Yeah,
next set of corners.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Great call. So there we go. Bump, bump. This is not okay. 15. Boop. Right in the center. Boop again. So right there. 13. Stephen Hayes sends DJ up with McCoy's truck. DJ does not know this, so he's like, "Okay, you've bumped me twice now, so I'm gonna brake check you before corner entrance." And it really upsets JJ's truck. Gets loose. Thankfully, the truck's on the inside. Save his truck from spinning. But yeah, that was really the second bump was brought by the 13, which DJ has no idea about.
Yeah. And there's no way that he would have any idea about that because it was happening behind him. Like I said, the first bump, JJ did get into the back of Honeycutt there, but after that, JJ slowed up, got a bump from the 13 behind him, which propelled him back into the bumper of Honeycutt. And that's a driver's way of just letting somebody know, hey, I'm not appreciating that too much. And that's what that little brake check was going down the straightaway there was, hey, I'm not appreciating that too much. We see it all the time, Jeremy. Sometimes a driver will sit here and rub doors just like you've seen the 26 and the 31 do after the incident that brought this last caution out. It's a way to say, hey, I don't appreciate that. Let's clean it up a little bit.
And I can tell you there's probably another caution in 10 laps with all that and what's going on. You see the top 8 are different. That's because they pitted on the prior set of cautions. So here we go. Joshua Slade's going to lead this thing with Tyler Honeycutt to the outside. Joshua's going to get an excellent jump into turn number 1. Your race leader before this was Chad McGinley, who restarted in 8th. And he's going to make some quick work of these guys. You're going to there you see the yellow spoiler. He's going to go inside, outside. Mateo
you seen what I seen.
This guy's been in bumper tags all night long here. And this is going to be fun, Dustin, to watch. Oh, there we go. Okay, and well, those two have not been attached all night long, but here we go. Mateo once more, turn 1. I don't want to bring it to you, but Dustin's coffin corner comment. We haven't said that in a while.
We haven't. We have
turn
not.
Turn 1 and turn 2 looks to be it.
Yeah, we have not seen that in a while, but we're going to take a look. So going into turn 1, so this is entering turn 1 right now. Very similar to the what happened in the earlier stages of the race, Jeremy. The only difference is instead of the inside truck being the 31 of Hollinger, it was the 15 of DJ Honeycutt, which caused that one. So again, very reminiscent of what happened in the early stages. I believe it was back on like lap 6 when this race actually started.
So that one's a little more black and white to me versus the Hollinger incident with him. DJ had the nose there, and John DeMatteo's, he's not the happiest driver right now. Been involved in multiple things, been spun out, just not having a great night. He drives into a really wide entrance. DJ makes a really strong move to the inside. He just miscalculates it, doesn't think the inside's taken, comes right across the nose of the 15 there and sends himself for a loop.
Yeah, and I would agree with that that assessment on that one there. Honeycutt had more of a nose on the inside there, more of a fender than what the 31 of Hollinger did at the early stages of this race. But again, very reminiscent of it. And like you said, frustrations are going to take effect on some of these drivers because they're going to be in situations where they want to move forward. They can't because they've got 3 trucks in front of them and they keep trying to line up the pass, or they've been racing with them side by side, or they've been getting bumped in the back end. Something along these lines. The frustrations are going to build, tempers are going to build, and then it's your reaction time due to that frustration and temper is going to falter on that, and you're not going to be able to make the moves that you did when you were clear-headed. That's why this is a tough track. It is a tough track for drivers, but in order to try to to capitalize on the best finish that they can, they need to learn to just take a deep breath, because getting flustered like that is only going to lead to more incidents like what we've been seeing here on the last couple caution.
And one way, Dustin, for me to clear your head out is to listen to some music. And why not listen to Spring Fever, the official theme audio partner for the Nerditude. Spring Fever is from Cleveland, Ohio based. That blends rock and alternative rock with amazing mix of metal, providing New World as the official theme song for the Nerditude/Nerd TV viewers, with experience of amazing audio and track visuals. So find them on Facebook and X at Spring Fever Band, and listen to all their stuff they have to offer. Has been producing music for quite a few years now on the big scene, anyways. So great set of music, a little bit of alternative, a little bit of heavy. Just you pick and choose what you like there. I like more like the softer tone stuff. I know you love the more of the heavy headbanging stuff there.
Gotta go heavy.
They got both. So check them out, Spring Fever Band.
Yeah, they do. They got some good stuff on there. Take a sound there. A sound bite. They're on every streaming platform possible. Pace car off. We're about ready to go back to green flag. Let's see if Slade can have a good jump. Mike Hayes to the outside right now. Green flag flies. We are back to racing action as Slade gets a good jump. Tyler Honeycutt to the inside of Mike Hayes. So Hayes did not get the start that he wanted. You got Henriquez back there in the 81 looking to try to poke his nose down on the inside of Hayes. But right now it's 2x2 for that second position, Jeremy.
And Ron Harrington was 3 wide, got shuffled back 10 plus spots here, but focusing on second and third place through turn 1 and 2. We're going to see the 20 of Honeycutt tried. He just could not there. Just got really loose or could not make the corner exit. Allows Michael Hayes to get around in the one truck. And now we got the 81 Henriquez slides really high up into turn 3 and 4. Goes back to 3 wide. Zach Hollinger's going to take that spot. Henriquez really checks up but finds the inside. Oh, then he's going to bump your race.
Oh, no.
No. And there's no caution. Chad McGinley just got drive shafted in turn 2 there. Oh my, that's going to change up this race for a little bit anyways. No caution, and Chad McGinley is not happy.
No, I get what Henriquez was doing on that, because nobody wants to take anything 3 wide at Martinsville. It tends to never work out. So he was trying to get out of the 3 wide situation there. But what he did was get on the brakes, not realizing that the 13 of Stephen Hayes was behind him, which then Stephen Hayes had to sit here and check up and take evasive maneuvers, which then stacked everything else up. So then while Henriquez was trying to regain and get back into it, makes contact with the 65 of McGinley, who has been very dominant since the drop of this green flag. The only reason why he was out of the race lead was due to pits a couple cautions ago. Now finds himself way off pace in 19th position, Jeremy. What a turn of events has unfolded here over the last couple laps.
Now, wouldn't it be crazy if we did a long green flag stint after that? Chad's like, okay, I know caution's coming up, right? It's by the law of averages. We're going to see that yellow flag in the next 5 laps or so, but the way this field's kind of spaced out, well, at least in the top 10 here, you see Slade all by his lonesome right now on the front straightaway. Now you got about 10 car or truck lengths separated between first and second and third, and then it gets a little bit closer as the 13 of Stephen Hayes looking at 2x2 here with the 31 of Hollinger. That's in P4, battling DJ Honeycutt for 5th. And then contact more. They keep it straight.
Oh man, still making contact though. They are grinding side panels here. Jeremy, you couldn't even walk sideways between those trucks down that straightaway and through the corner, and they're still side by side. 31 of Hollinger trying to pinch down the 13 of Hayes. That's a very typical move at a short track, but Stephen Hayes finally able to prevail on that one, as he's going to sit here and take chase to the 15 of DJ Honeycutt.
Yeah, it was a lot of sparks flying between those 2 trucks. Could not walk, between them, like you said, for a half a lap solid. They finally broke up, and now we got side by side right behind them. That's the 22 of McCoy on the inside of LeBlanc in the 85. This is going to be a battle for 7th and 8th place here, as they continue to be side by side for the most part, but it looks like McCoy should take this on corner entry. LeBlanc trying tough, hanging on, just could not do it on exit.
Yeah, could not do it on exit. He's holding tough, and I tell you what, good rebound back for LeBlanc, who was involved in that De Matteo Hollinger situation that happened a couple cautions ago, but a little bit of help from his teammate there does JJ McCoy get, and that's his teammate behind him, the 79 of Steve Knight. Propelled him down that straightaway, but it was very smart. He backed off to let JJ McCoy get on the binders and set for that corner, and it was enough to get him past LeBlanc. So LeBlanc now falls back to 8th place under the attack of the 79 of Steve Knight.
This little 5-truck battle is the only like legit battle on the track right now. JJ looking to the inside of Zach once more, gonna drive in a little deep, misses the corner entrance mark. They're gonna, oh well, no, 31 a little wide, had to check up there on exit. Still gonna drive it in super deep here, gets him on entrance, but nothing for him. Overheats the front tire. JJ McCoy up one spot.
Yeah, and that's the more that the 31 of Hollinger is stuck on that high side, that, like you said, the more he's heating his tires up. Right now, his tires are screaming at him. They're saying, hey, give us a couple laps, let us cool down, because he is having a hard time keeping that thing down near the red and white rumble strip, curbing on the inside. You see he goes down there and it drifts up to about that second lane. It just leaves that door open. And Jeremy, you know as well as I, as tough as this track is to pass, if you leave that door open on that inside, somebody is going to try to fill it.
Yeah, if you have a wider arc in the entry, someone's going to be like, hey, look, there's a spot for my nose. And they're going to try to take it here. Looking at the 79 passing the 31 this time through turns 1 and 2. And pretty clean, easy pass there as we're 10 laps shy of approaching the halfway point, Dustin. I think this is going to be a great time for us to go to picture-in-picture mode commercial break. We'll be right back. And back to full screen here is we had a caution come out. We saw it live on the screen, decided to not kick it back quick because it was a single truck spin there from LeBlanc off of turn number 2, continuing to be the troublesome half of this paperclip.
Coffin corner, or corners.
Yeah, coffin corners. There's multiple coffins out here. Joshua Slade's going to resume your race leader here. A lot more trucks came down for a fresh set of tires this time, so we should see a different kind of restart. A lot of checking up and domino effect there, bouncing through the entire field. So you call the accordion effect as well. Go through 1 and 2. The one of Michael Hayes is going to clear McCoy here for 3rd, 4th, 5th. They're all single file. Stephen Knight gives a little bump to Tyler Honeycutt there in the 20. No, 31. Zach almost looks like to go to the inside of the 79. Does not. And so far so good on this restart.
Yeah, it's tough on these restarts, Jeremy, because
Never mind.
Wow, that was a wicked.
Oh no, the ARCA brakes.
Oh, what I was trying. It could have been so worse. What I was trying to say is these restarts are so tough because if one person misses a brake point, gets in the back of somebody, it's an accordion effect because the person behind you is going to get into the back of them, and so on and so forth. But this one here, Jeremy, this started with the 13. Stephen Hayes, as he was coming off the corner there. So this is after it already happened. We're going to back it up a little bit. It looks like he just broke loose, Jeremy, as we were going through that. There wasn't a whole lot. I don't think there was any contact. We're checking for pocket of air because sometimes you can pack the air underneath these trucks, and that's just enough. And no, that right rear just lost grip. You see he's laying down tracks. Loses grip, gets into the right rear quarter panel, the 20 of Tyler Honeycutt. Tyler Honeycutt had no idea that was even coming. That was out of nowhere. And then just right into the wall. Unfortunate hit there, collecting the 20 of Tyler Honeycutt. Not what he was wanting. Then he gets a little bit of contact. Oh, man. ARCA brake central right there. 57 missed it, but 26 of De Matteo did not.
Yeah, that was such a late reaction by those two there I know Dan Mateo was blinded there with all up right behind the 57, but the caution's already out, waving. You see the yellow lights up front, and then he got hit from behind a few seconds later. I just feel like that was a late reaction from Ron Harrington, and that brought John De Matteo with, but yeah, just got loose there like the 6 did to Michael Lester.
Honeycutt had no idea.
Boom! Yeah, just no idea. Just got loose, and he can maybe see him in the mirror just by a touch, but it's one of those. I don't know if he's loose. I hope he saves it, and then wham, right to the outside wall.
Yeah, and the thing is, Tyler Honeycutt in on pit road right now. I mean, he's got, he did nose it in, but it didn't seem like it was that hard of a hit. The nose actually doesn't look bad, Jeremy. He might come out of this all right as he's now exiting pit road. Might not be bad. The worst thing out of this, Jeremy, is he's going to be back in traffic now. So he is going to have to work his way all the way back up and back through, and could potentially put himself in situations like he was just in right there. So that's probably the kicker to the whole situation, regarding this. If there's a truck that comes out of this without any damage at all, Jeremy, that's a minor miracle in itself here at Martinsville.
We've seen the leaders get involved in some stuff. We've seen other people get hit multiple times, whether it be their fault or not. We've seen the ARCA brakes now. We've seen self spins. We've seen people get hit while hiding behind a wall on pit exit. We've seen so many things so far to this race, and we're just past a halfway point. We're going to be resuming this thing on lap 104. Joshua Slade continues to lead this pack on these restarts. And just an update on your Chad McGinley, your fastest truck so far tonight in practice and qualifying. Still only back at 14th place, so he's still got a lot of work to get at least into the top 10 minimally. But here we go. Back to green flag once more. Restart underway. Green flag for the 10th time. Joshua Slade, excellent start this time. Goes off into turn number 1 and 2. Looks like the Hayes truck number 1 is going to go single file. So is JJ McCoy. DJ's trying to do the same thing, but that 13 Stephen Hayes. Oh, huge bumper tag there by Stephen Knight into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and like I said before, Jeremy, before the last caution come out, these restarts, they're that tough because everybody's trying to get back in the groove. They're trying to, get in line to start trucking forward. And all it takes is one minor slip up by one driver, and it's accordion effect. I mean, it just goes back, and that's what these drivers are trying to get back in line. Contact made, 31 around, going to collect more.
Oh,
EJ
no.
Luna involved in that one as well. Hard impact by a lot of these drivers. 44 of Mark Sherwood involved. The 31 still spinning as he's getting ready to go into turn 1 there. So, Jeremy, all kinds of stuff taking place right now.
Zach just wants to leave Martinsville. Let me tell you, he has been hit so many times in that 31. As you go on the roof camera, see him just clip the 89 right in the right rear. That's Bobby Mansell.
Oh, there was contact there between him and LeBlanc.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what started it. Just great center there, and then right there, a little wiggle from Justin.
Yep.
That's all it took, just to slide his truck up into the door panel of the 31, and there we go.
Yeah, and like you said, it was just a little bit of wiggle from LeBlanc. You see the 44 Sherwood check up, but Luna was not on it. Bumped the 44 and then realized that 31 of Hollinger was there. Henriquez gets in the back of Dow. So, I mean, just an accordion effect. No one has anywhere to go. Looks like Tyler Honeycutt just squeaking through there, getting by the 60 of Michael Dow. So, but like what we were saying, it almost looked like the 85 of LeBlanc. He just bobbled up a little bit. You know, either the truck got loose or what it could be, Jeremy, is we're watching is he comes down in and his angle looks like he's going to hit that red and white inside curbing there. So he tries to adjust and just overcompensates on the adjustment coming out of the corner there. And it pulls him up a little bit more than what he was expecting. And unfortunately, the 31 of Hollinger was right there occupying that space.
It did. Then EJ just out of nowhere, bam, right into the left front there. Carlos Henriquez hits the left rear of the number 60 of Michael Dow and sends him right into Zach as well. And a little accordion effect all on. You see Harrington almost squeezes through, but the 44, Mark Sherwood, turns up the track a little bit, hits Ron Harrington. He's got damage on the left front of that truck. And, man, that's clearly the biggest one. We've only had 2 or 3 trucks involved in the biggest wreck. This was about 6 or 7. Piled them up, and at Dustin, it was not turn 1 and 2 this time. It finally happened in 3 and 4.
It finally happened, but that was exactly what we were talking about, Jeremy, that it doesn't take much for these short tracks because there's no inside grass or pavement really. It's all wall. The only inside pavement you have, you're seeing it right there, is you got just a little bit of it, enough to sit here and have the Chevrolet logo and bow tie on the inside there, and that's about it. You have an extra lane down the stretches, so when these trucks start spinning like that and drivers start taking evasive maneuvers, it clogs this track up. And I mean, it starts looking like an Etch-a-Sketch you used to play with when you were little, turning both dials, going left, right, up, down, trying to, maze your way through here with the least amount of contact possible. It's tough.
Driving around this track is Etch-a-Sketch, that's for sure.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, we're 111 laps in. We got double-digit cautions, which Dustin, we've been calling, like I said before, we've been calling this track plenty of times. And there's not many races where we've not seen double digits, right? I think one had 3 or 4.
21, I think, was the most that we've called.
20, 21, 20-something. It was a high number. And that happened almost back-to-back times. So this is not anything uncommon here for Martinsville. It's just short track product. And here we go, back for the 11th time. We're going to see Barney throw the green flag. And here we are. We're underway once more. A little bit of a low centered restart here. Not up against the wall this time. But the first time all night we've seen the leaders side by side here on a restart.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, Mike Hayes had an excellent start there, but DJ Honeycutt was all over that. They went nose to nose, tied off into turn 1 through 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Hayes does take that lead spot. DJ Honeycutt in second. You got Stephen Hayes in third, and then you got this gaggle of hornet's nest behind him as drivers are still trying to dice everything out. Right now, your top 6 in line. Your first battle there is between Michael Dow and Henriquez in the 81 side by side, and then you've got Honeycutt and McGinley side by side. Contact! EJ Luna around. Looked like there might have been contact between him and the 22. We'll have to take a closer look at that one, Jeremy.
Denny Hamlin amount of cautions here this evening, and turn 1 and turn 2 is gonna be that corner once more, as JJ McCoy. Let's break it down here. So we're gonna look at EJ Luna. Let's actually try to focus on this 22 because this is where the wreck's gonna happen. Wide exit for the 24, no problem. Looks like maybe a slightly better run on exit. It has about a truck length of space. And then just, I don't know if that was a misjudgment on braking zone, which looked like it does. He just was not going to make the corner, and EJ was just collateral.
Yep. Yeah, EJ locking it up. You see the front tires and the rear tires locked up on that 24 machine. Backs it into the wall, minimal damage. But again, I mean, that truck's already got front nose damage from the previous caution, Jeremy. So again, you know, that was just trying to get into that corner there, and that was just a misjudgment on that one. Like you said, even if he, you know, even if EJ would have given him that lane and stayed up high, it would have been tough for the 22 to lock that truck down to that inside lane without it drifting up, at least in some way, shape, or form, off that bottom lane, because he was coming in pretty hot on that one there.
And Martinsville is all about mental toughness, and with 10 cautions prior and a lot of things going through your head, talking to your team, I think that was just a mental lapse of your braking zone, and 24 paid the price for that in particular one.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, Jeremy, like you said. I mean, just a split second, somebody keying up in your ear, for as fast as what you're pulling laps around this track, 18, 19 seconds. It does not take much to have just that little bit of mental focus going from what's going on in front of you to what's going on in your ear or anything else. So, and remember, we're in sim rigs. I mean, there could be something going on with kids in the background too, and just that one little slip like that at a short track is all it takes.
I don't think you know anything about that, sir.
Absolutely not.
You don't have 4 of them that make sounds and do this and that, and it's a fun time. And it could be, you know, like you doing a 24-hour race and have your cat jump on your keyboard. Thank you, Spencer, for that. 5 hours into a 24-hour race, and your fur friend comes up and jumps on your keyboard. But I'm not salty. It was only a year and a half ago. But the new restart here for the front row. Number 1, Michael Hayes, DJ Honeycutt, second place there on the outside. It's the first time we've seen Michael Hayes. He's been trying so much, Dustin, to get up to this front row anyways, and here he is going to be leading this field to the restart on lap 120, I believe. But yeah, this is not over yet. I expect quite a few more, and with the tire variabilities between the front trucks and the back trucks, it's still going to get quite crazy.
And it will. It is going to get crazy. The thing is, I mean, even with the older tires, these drivers are still going to be tough to pass with the drivers with fresh tires. So it's still going to pose a challenge. We're not done with cautions yet. I mean, that's a give me. I mean, we're realists up here. We understand that it's going to happen, especially as we get closer to that white flag and checkered flag. I'm interested to see if we can have a restart like what we did on the last one between Hayes and DJ Honeycutt, because they were neck and neck as we come off of turn 4, getting ready to go. Green flag flies. Hayes, much better start on that one there. Honeycutt is able to drop down on the inside lane, though. I tell you what, that was a good restart.
Denny Hamlin start over Martin Truex Jr. Just caught him sleeping at the very, very end of the restart zone. A little bit. Oh, here we go. Another caution. 12th one out here, and it's going to involve 3 or 4 trucks at minimum.
Honeycutt, Dow, Hollinger. We got a number of big hitters, Jeremy.
Yeah, it looked like synchronized spinning is what I'm going to call it. And we're looking at the 20 and the 60. I think these were the 2 involved initially to bring out this 12th caution. Drive it off into turn 3. And, the 60 actually hits the 81, gets a little loose. It's Carlo Henriquez on the top, Michael down the bottom. And then there goes Tyler. Hits him in the back bumper, then sends Chad McGinley, man. He's trying to get back to the front, and he's just having a hell of a time doing so.
Yeah, but McGinley locks it down, but EJ Luna does not. Oh, McGinley had kept it off of the wall, locked down, and EJ Luna going high to miss it, locked it down. But, I mean, it was lighter contact, but, I mean, still, that was, I think that's the first real heavy bit of damage that we have. You see the 26 of De Matteo down there as well. the 44 involved. So, I mean, we have a number of different drivers, Jeremy, that have been involved in this wreck here. So we're going to go on board with EJ Luna, as he's going to see everything happen in front of him right now. So right now, oh, I don't know if he... Ooh, that's how the 26 went around, Jeremy. We're going to go back and play that. Just watching that roof cam, I don't know if EJ Luna actually even saw what was going on, as we're going to sit here and go, yeah, see, it's all blocked by trucks right now. So literally, it's happening on the other side of Di Matteo. Luna cannot see what's going on. Might just catch a glimpse of it there, but he's already arcing it in. I don't know if he even really seen it on that one there. That's a tough call, because he's looking more forward on that. And even if he did, it was just a split second, and the 26 was already brake checking. So that's another byproduct of, racing in these. Your field of view is not the greatest at times. You do not always, drivers always, and, people watching are always like, hey, why didn't they check up for that? Didn't they see that? You don't always see these. There, you have a number of different things, and depending on track configuration, you could have other trucks or cars in your field of view. You could have the actual track in your field of view. So you could actually go off into one turn, and because of the way the track is laid out, you don't see the wreck until it's already too late. So, I mean, that's product of racing.
I'm really glad you went on the helmet camera of EJ Luna, because I was in that camp of potential ARCA brake. I was like, why? He hit one person. Why did he help and hit Chad McGinley for a second contact? Like, it didn't make sense to me until you put it inside the cockpit of the 21st truck. And obviously, by the time he saw the 60 with that glimpse of spinning, he was not going to slow down at all for the 26 Di Matteo. And then just continued up, try to go up high, try to clear him. And then there was the parked truck of the 65 in the blind zone. So just a really tough break for a lot of those guys involved in that wreck there. But you see them, they're stacked up. We're about to go green flag racing once more, resuming on lap 126 is scheduled 200 for the clip 42. Michael Hayes is going to lead them off once more with DJ Honeycutt on the outside. Stephen Hayes in the 13 P3, Justin LeBlanc P4. And back to green flag action here once more. Gets off into turn number 1, no problem. Michael Hayes is going to clear 3 wide for 5th, 6th, and 7th. They're going to check up a little bit here. And Stephen Hayes trying to get P2 for the first time tonight.
Yeah, he battling DJ Honeycutt right now. They have been battling, but look at this back here. This is where that 3 wide was at, Jeremy, as that battle for second place is going on. This is back here with Tyler Honeycutt. You have the 89 of Bobby Mantle, the 81 of Carlos Enriquez is all back here, and these drivers are trying to get it all squared away. You got Joshua Slade there. Ooh, contact there between Slade and the 89 of Mantle there. Works Mantle up out of that lane. He's going to lose not 1 but 2 positions, as he's going to lose a position to his Grim Reaper Motorsport teammate there, the 22 of JJ McCoy. And there's McGinley trying to rebound back from a couple incidents that he's been involved in, Jeremy. Not of his doing. He's just been the unlucky recipient.
It's definitely just been unlucky recipient. You're watching that. I was on the other monitor looking at the 13 and 15, which are now on the main monitor here. 15 laid the bumper to Stephen Hayes to get around him in turn 3 and 4, send him up the track, got to his inside, able to make the pass happen. So using the old chrome horn here, a little bit past the halfway mark, 129 laps down.
I got you, Jeremy. I got
total.
you.
He's got me. Here we go. And this is turn 1 and 2. 15 not going to make the corner exit. And does he do it the very next set of corners, or is it? I think it's the corner after here. So we're going to go looping around one more time.
Here, we'll get a little bit closer.
Oh wait, hold on. Well, we're going to take a look here, but we got a caution. It's that 13 truck on your screen. He is backwards on corner exit turn 2. But here's the old bumper contact here, right prior.
Right there.
Right there it is. You stop perfectly on the dime. Just
boop.
Bonk. Get out of my way.
Boop. You got a little double tap there.
That's right.
That's normal though for short track racing. I mean, that's if the driver's occupying your space and you're faster. I mean, that's about the best way to sit here and do it. It was a clean bump and run. I mean, that's it wasn't like Dale Sr. and Terry Labonte, back at Bristol. So
Yep, nope, definitely not that. But we're gonna try to catch the actual caution here, and you see the same truck, 13 backwards, corner X, turn two. No way, not a big shocker there. Turn one and turn two is that corner though. There's just not much grip, and loop to daisies. And then you're also gonna
Ooh.
see the number 6 sneak in here. He's gonna self spin as well, right there. Whoop.
Whoa!
So ice presenting itself in turn 1 and 2.
Right? My goodness. Yep, there's the 6 of Mike Lester there. He sat here and looped it. So I don't know. Maybe they need to go put some speedy dry down there on the exit of turn 2, because that's where, in between 1 and 2, that's where we've been seeing a lot of drivers losing grip on that right rear when they're going to roll back into the throttle like that. Now remember, these drivers do run open setups. So these setups here are custom made. These drivers edit the setups to their liking. So that's why you could see some of these drivers not having the issue. They might run their trucks a little tighter on that so that it doesn't lose that rear grip, where others may like it a little loose. You know what they say, loose is fast, you even it out the corners. Sometimes drivers just get on the throttle a little bit too much, a little bit too quick. And trust me, we've seen it already a number of times tonight, Jeremy. That truck lets you know quick as crap that, hey, you got on the throttle a little too much, and I don't like that.
It really does, though. It'll let you know in a hurry, and you've seen it. Whenever they kick it sideways, you're either A, overcorrecting, or B, you're just along for the ride. Got 2 laps left before we go back to green flag. Shout out one of our partners here, Victory Fuel, flavored electrolyte water, the official hydration partner for the Nerditudes. Victory Fuel is loaded full of electrolytes, absence of caffeine, and low sugar content, which makes it a perfect drink to keep you hydrated and energized. Contains no artificial colors and packed full of daily vitamins to support your overall health. And of course, it's a great drink for the entire family because there is no caffeine. All your kiddos can drink it with you as well. So if you want to get yourself a very great tasting beverage that also has some goodies in there to keep you hydrated and healthy, visit drinkvictory.com. Use the promotion code SUPERNERD. Of course, always SUPERNERD is your code. It's going to save you 10% off your purchase.
A drink that's got some goodies in her. I couldn't have put it better myself, Jeremy. I love it. So, yeah, I guarantee you there's some drivers that would probably love to have some of that to focus. We're already having some checkups and stack-ups here. We got a change on the front row. The 31 of Hollinger and the 24 VJ Luna are going to take you to your 13th restart of the night. Green flag flies, Jeremy. The 31, excellent start. You got the 24 Luna now is under attack by the 60 of Dow as these guys are going at it.
And that truck looks like it's been through hell and back. The 31 out here using it. Oh, well, here comes some more contact. Big stack 'em ups. And there he goes. Finally, I thought we were going to save it, but no, Michael, I think, just spun the tires a little bit off turn 4. And I guess we're going to delay WrestleMania a little bit more, Dustin, as we're on our 14th caution.
Yeah, we definitely are. Jeremy, this caution, I mean, they should have spun and wrecked going into the corner. This lasted all the way through the corner and coming out down the straightaway. You see the 24 go to arc it in, and contact is made. The 60 pops the curb, locks it up, does a good job even getting bumped from the 15 of DJ Honeycutt. You see the accordion effect. He pops the curb again, has to lock it up to keep it straight. Still excellent, but you're going to see he's going to come off that curb and get just a little bit of help there from the 20. And the 12 of Joshua Slade just has nowhere to go as Michael Dow is trying to lock it down and bring it back after that contact. Man, that was, look at that, almost halfway down the backstretch, Jeremy, before the spin actually takes effect. That started 2 corners prior.
Yeah, just a little over entrance there by the 60. And then you mentioned it in the pre-race, that curb there will spin you out, and his left rear was on it. He drops off the massive curb back onto the actual track, and just no traction with that much shifting around in the suspension of these trucks. I think this is the first time we're going to call it out, but there you go to see the 57. Ron Harrington, he's driving around, and that means he's your hashtag Get a Grip Lucky Dog Award recipient to Ron Harrington. It's going to put him back on the lead lap here. 15 trucks will resume this restart from the lead lap position. Only one truck that's one lap down. That's the 13 of Stephen Hayes, who technically had the spot, Dustin, but he had a 0x involved somewhere, somehow. Was DQ'd from getting the Lucky Dog Award. So Ron Harrington, go get your lap back.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, Ron's been running. I mean, it's as a respectable race as what you can here. We've seen his truck involved in a couple incidents trying to squeak through. See some damage on the left side of the truck, but you know what? He's still out there running. He's back on the lead lap. And Jeremy, with the way that some of the incidents have been taking place here, I mean, we've already seen some tempers start to get the better of a couple drivers, so it's not out of the question for something to happen. And you know, maybe Ron could be there to squeak up and pick up a couple more positions there now that he's back on the lead lap. So now he doesn't have to worry about fighting to be that lucky dog. He's on the lead lap. Now he has to fight to survive the track that is known as the paperclip.
Fighting is what these guys are doing. They're fighting multiple battles to have a long green flag run, to fight off the field that keeps trying to drive it in a little bit deeper every corner. You know, you're fighting the tire wear, you're fighting the handling situation. There's just so much going on in this race right now. It is completely eventful, and I figured this was going to be a great one to watch for people tuning in on the Nerd TV side for Facebook and YouTube, which our chat, minus one chat from K Smooth, it has been dead silent on the texting side, so feel free to chime on in. We'd love to shout you out. And we're going back to green flag.
We would love to hear what they have to think, especially about Martinsville.
Yeah.
This is the best time to sit here and start getting chatty and talk. You know, we love bringing everybody in on this.
This is like when Kyle Busch wins and the crowd stays silent. It's just weird. There we go.
Too soon? Too soon.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Contact from 31 and 24 before the green flag even drops here. 24 forgets to press the go pedal, getting shoved all the way down the front straight by DJ Honeycutt. Gets off into turn number 1. Looks like Michael Hayes unable to clear EJ Luna. And for the 15th time, 15th time, we're going to have a Boomer Button Box caution. Boomer Button Box, please send us all your funds this way, because we're shouting you out so often. In turn 1, self-spin, Carlos Henriquez in the 81.
Yep. Boomer Button Box getting all the action today. So this is right there after that restart. Everybody getting up to speed. Oh man, and that's that loose there. Got on the throttle there, Jeremy, to try to get back into it, and he felt that right rear starting to lose grip and let off, and then had to jerk that wheel and snap that wheel there to try to correct it, and it overcorrected it. Very reminiscent to what the Cup cars, because I'm going to call them Cup cars. We can't call them next gen anymore. It's the current gen, so they're just Cup cars. But it's very reminiscent of the Cup cars, Jeremy. You can either save those things, you're either going to save it, or it's going to snap loose. There's no in between at all, and that's very reminiscent to what we just seen happen to the 81 of Carlos Henriquez.
Very well said here. I think this is going to be a great time. We're going to go back to a quick picture-in-picture break, and we'll be back for the drop of the green flag and the remaining 50 laps here this event. Stay tuned. flag is back just as our commercial ends. And the 31 of Zach Hollinger is going to lead it up into turn number 1, clears Michael Hayes. That's the normal theme there for first to pass second. But look at this, 2 by 2 by 2, the rest of the way back through the top 10. And they're going to remain that way going to turns 3 and 4. Hayes cleared side by side as Luna and Honeycutt. And everybody else is still 2 by 2, Dustin, and turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, they're fighting right now, that third position between DJ Honeycutt and EJ Luna, still side by side. It looks like the 79 of Steve Knight is going to clear the 85 of LeBlanc, but now LeBlanc under attack by the 22 of McCoy. They're side by side. Still that battle for third right now. And now we have a battle for first heating up between the 31 of Hollinger and the 1 of Hayes, Jeremy. There's fights going on everywhere.
And Michael Hayes is trying to do it from the outside. Hollinger has no grip on the inside, and Michael Hayes is going to be probably the first truck to just make a green flag pass on the outside by himself, no assistance. New leader, number 1 in that fresh air, DJ Honeycutt's going to take the pass on EJ Luna. Ties it off deep into turn 3, able to make it stick, going through 3 and 4, no problem for the top 10. And a little bit of a sharp cut here and a block. Aggressive driving makes contact there with Hollinger, and they're going to have synchronized spinning once more. 16 cautions presented by, and they're still wrecking. We got Tyler Honeycutt, Hollinger here. I think it was Lester maybe on the inside. Chaos everywhere. Again, the 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2 is where it was at. So, I mean, this one here started up here with the 31 of Hollinger and the 15 of DJ Honeycutt.
Bonk.
Yep, low entry there by DJ Honeycutt, and just not enough room there, just enough to make contact, but synchronized spinning. You see the spin there by the 24 of EJ Luna as well. As Luna was going around, Luna was able to save it, stacks everything up behind him though. As you see the 31 of Hollinger still spinning there. And then you see it, all the stack up effect right here. The check up by the 13 of Hayes. Honeycutt checks up. Lester tries to check up, gets into Honeycutt. Then you see there's Ron, our lucky dog from the last one, got in the back of Lester. That's that check up effect for these short tracks, Jeremy. So just one thing leads to another. And I mean, that's what happens, unfortunately, when it comes to this.
Yep, absolutely. Here's kick it back to live. See the 31 on pit road. Looking at now your race leader, Michael Hayes, who made that brilliant pass over Zach Hollinger on the outside by himself to get this race lead.
I want to say he had fresher tires, Jeremy, because he was in the lead, and then a number of cautions back, he wasn't, and then he's back up here again. So I'm wondering if he had fresher tires than the 31 of Hollinger, and that's why that was actually able to be done on the outside.
Well, I don't know if you have that box that displays pit road sequence.
This guy asking if I have that box or not. What?
There she is. But that shows, you know, the intervals of the guys next to each other. Hayes got 24 laps on that set of tires. And it all depends on what kind of tires Zach Hollinger has in the 31. That'll kind of determine that answer. At least the top 4 all pitted at the same time, 24 laps prior. And you see they're up 4, 1, and 4 since they last pitted. And as we cycle through the rest of it, there's 5 through 8, 25, 34, 25. We got Dow 18, Hayes 25, 24, 25.
There's Hollinger. Yep, he was on 48 lap old tires right there, Jeremy, because that yellow slip was when he just came into the pits to get repairs and fresh tires. So that right there could be part of it on why it was a little easier for the 1 of Hayes to get by the 31 of Hollinger.
24 laps extra set of tires at Martinsville is crucial to making that outside pass work. And so that explains why he was able to drive away on the top there and why the 31 just could not stick the bottom on corner exit, trying everything he could. Just no grip involved in those tires. And Dustin, we're going back 2 by 2. We're going green next time.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like I said, if you notice, Jeremy, these restarts have been what has been really, you know, troublesome for these drivers trying to get back in that groove. We had that really good long green flag run, you know, when these drivers, you know, slowed it down and just hit their marks. And now it just seems like one caution has just been breeding another caution, as drivers know that the laps are ticking down. They're running out of time to make up what they can, so their aggressive levels come up as we got a green flag. The one of Mike Hayes leads them. DJ Honeycutt falls down in line behind him. Steve Knight right now side by side with JJ McCoy there, still side by side as they come off. That's your battle for third.
The flagman Barney knows this track is his highest paying gig of the year, and we're 18 green flags in, including the initial start. Looks like the 1 and the 15 are going to have a little breakaway here to get to third place. 79 Stephen Knight, JJ McCoy right behind him. 3 Ghost Motorsports yellow spoilers, 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. Little contact, Henriquez into EJ Luda sends him deep up into the wall there, but very light contact, and we stay green.
Yeah, that was the 6 of Lester into the wall there. Looks like he missed his corner entry going in. We got It's Not So Lame on the YouTube chat saying, Grim creeping up. Bring it home, boys. Talking about those yellow spoilers there right now, being led by the 79 of Steve Knight. JJ McCoy, his teammate behind him, and the 89 of Bobby Mantle behind him. So again, they're creeping in right now, running third, fourth, and fifth. Oh, as we talk about that, you can count me on that one. That is commentator's curse on that one there for Bobby Mantles. I was just talking about him, and he brings out the most recent boomer button box caution flag. We're going to go take a look and see what happened, Jeremy.
The only non-Grim Reaper truck to win this season is the one. The Grim Reaper truck here of the 89 Bobby Mantle goes for the pass. 89 goes for the block. They both, I don't think we're going to make this corner with so much speed. And then contact has been had. And there he goes, around about in 34.
Yep, and like I said, the aggressive level is picking up. I mean, Jeremy, we're under 50 laps left. I mean, those laps tick off fast. Drivers are trying to make the most out of every opportunity, no matter how big or small that it presents itself. They're trying to do everything they can, and we're going to see more of that as time goes on. Looked like the 64 of Danny White almost clipped the 89 of Mantle there during that while Bobby was sitting there on the track. But yeah, we're going to see more of that as this continues on, Jeremy. I mean, that's short track racing. We all have that internal timer, especially when it comes to racing, that we know. I mean, we see it at any style racetrack. I mean, especially plate tracks. You know, a lot of drivers like to sit back and wait for the stuff to happen at Daytona and Talladega, and they have a certain time frame. They say, okay, 20 laps to go, I'm marching forward. Every track has that time limit on there, and this one here, they're starting to hit it. You got to start it sooner at the short track, especially Martinsville, because it's more difficult to pass. It's going to take longer to do that. So these drivers are really starting to put that pressure on.
And it's only going to get worse and worse, right? We're under 50 to go, and if you already are exhausted, frustrated, just want to get this thing over with, well, you got to have another 30 plus laps of hell on your end, specifically if you're in that situation to go through before we're all said and done here. And yeah, so many different tire strategies. So this is kind of why the chaos is kind of building, right? We're not all on the same set of tires. So we're trying to pass trucks that are slower. We're trying to weave and dodge some trucks, and some have ill handling of the 40 plus laps, some are fresh, right? So there's so many different variables happening on a really tight half-mile track here, which is presenting a lot of headaches and a lot of different things to kind of work through to get to the front and be a part of the battle for the podium here, which we've seen a lot of positions flip-flop in this podium top 3 here tonight.
Yeah, and we're not done yet. We're gonna see these positions flip-flop all the way down to coming to the checkered flag. That's just the way this goes. I mean, there's at this point in time, Jeremy, there is a large number of drivers that have a chance on getting the victory tonight, and if not that, finishing podium, and if not that, finishing top 5. I mean, Jeremy, really at this rate, finishing top 10 at a track like Martinsville, as difficult as what it is, that's a victory for many drivers as well. We're going to find out as we're getting ready to come back to our 17th restart of the evening. Hayes gets a good start on that one, being the 15 of DJ Honeycutt. DJ cannot cut down. He's got the 85 of Justin LeBlanc on his inside. LeBlanc creeping forward. He's been on the bad recipient side of a couple cautions, but finds himself now battling side by side. A little bit of door contact between LeBlanc and the 15 of Honeycutt. A little bit more. Little wobble there as now we have another caution. That is our 18th Boomer Button Box caution.
This happened right behind. This was building up. They go 3 wide into turn 3, and let me tell you, Martinsville and 3 wide, all battling for spots is not the way to go. You build off a turn 2. You see the 24 slow on exit. The 12 and the 79 want the middle spot. The 12 dips down. The 79 looking a little bit, and then but the 12 is Slade. The Slade, he's going to do an okay job. He's going to drive it in here. Going nice and slow motion. The 60 Michael Dow comes in a little shallow and then gets a huge bump by Steven. And that's going to send the 24 up the track. Slides and then nowhere to go for the 13 here. And then at the same token, the 60 gets hit by 2 teammates as they kind of go in together. Then the 81 of Henriquez flies through. Heavy contact to the right front. And Ron Harrington does not make it through. Makes more contact with Michael Dow.
Yeah, that right there is a prime example of why 3 wide does not work at Martinsville, folks. Even the best drivers, typically on a high percentage, do not make it out of a 3 wide situation at Martinsville unscathed. That one there, it was bound to happen, especially when it went 3 wide halfway down the stretch like that going in. It's the second time, Jeremy. I mean, we seen the 60 of Michael Dow was very shallow getting in, but again, he was probably trying to back himself out of that 3 wide situation. When he had Slade on his inside and Luna on his outside, he was probably trying to back himself out of the situation. The only bad thing was he had the 79 of Steve Knight right behind him, so he really couldn't back up at all, and it was just that accordion effect.
It really was there, and I'm going to try to do a little sponsor dump here. First one's going to be Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles, the official hobby shop of the Nerditudes. And breaking news as of, I think, 2 days ago, their website is back up and live.
It
So
is.
Dusty Pete's was down. Now it's back up, so their online shop, dustypete's.com.
With new
Go
stuff.
visit them. New stuff, new website. Well, at least the link's live. I don't know how much new it is, but server's back up and refreshed. They have everything nerdy that you want. If you want comic books, action figures, die-cast, everything in between to kind of just make anything nerdy in your office even better. Head yourself over to dustypete's.com. Promo code SUPERNERD, of course, going to save you 15%, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken there.
10%.
And,
10%.
10%. Appreciate you with that. I did not have that in my notes. And then a quick shout out also to Boomer Button Boxes for sim racers. Total peripheral menu control at your fingertips. So you customize all your buttons, no matter how many buttons are on this box that you order, to what you need, and it makes admin life so much easier. So visit boomerbuttonboxes.com and order yours today.
Do we really have to shout them out? I mean, they've gotten all kinds of plug space on tonight's race. 18 cautions, Jeremy.
You at least gotta sell the product, I guess. I mean, they seen the logo, I guess. I didn't have to do it. I really didn't. But here we go.
Wrong.
Maybe
You're not wrong.
I try. I mean, they've highlighted this whole entire race so far. You've seen their logo on average every 5 minutes. And going through 3 and 4 right now. And JJ McCoy destroys his truck on the outside, retaining on 3 and 4. Back to the caution, number 19 this time on lap 175.
We're getting closer, Jeremy. We're getting closer.
We're hour and a half into our WrestleMania time here, boys.
I think we're gonna have to start charging extra on pay-per-view nights here for wrestling. I think we're gonna have to start doing that, Jeremy.
It might be a good idea.
Oh my!
What a hit! What a hit from Whataburger. Just,
what a hit from Whataburger. that was
Patty upside down in turn 3.
And the puns start rolling. Yeah, that was that was just a hard lick. This is full speed as he goes in. Oh yeah. Oh man, JJ McCoy just got sent on that one. I mean, he was holding that second lane there and just got full scent on it. So yeah, that's a tough one. And unfortunately, that JJ McCoy, heavy outside wall impact on that left side. Don't know how that's going to affect the handling of that truck, but we'll find out here once we go back to green flag.
Yeah, and the 13 pitted on lap 165, right? So, and there's been cautions directly after one another. The 13 is on fresh set of tires, and it looked like from our view he was going to overdrive that corner so deep, but his truck never left the bottom groove. So he had so much more grip, I think, compared to JJ, and just miscalculated the speed difference he was going to have. And so just a mental lapse once more of, not knowing the situational things going around you, right? So it just kind of drove into the back bumper and sent him off into the sunset, and made a sandwich out of him. And it just, there's nothing more to it. It was just a mental lapse there from the 13 and 19 cautions now. We're going to have a restart coming up here in the next couple of laps. Going to be on lap 181 potentially here. So at 20 laps to go, Dustin. Over or under 2 cautions?
At this rate, I mean, you've got a mix of drivers right now that have fresh tires, old tires. You got drivers that know that internal Martinsville clock is running out to try to gain as much as what they can. Like I said, we've already seen the short track tempers fly a number of times already tonight. That's not uncommon for any league, whether it's real racing, sim racing. That happens no matter what when you come to a short track. We've got a lot of beat up cars, drivers with that accordion effect and issues with brake points, not knowing when the driver in front of them is going to brake. At this rate, Jeremy, we're on our 19th caution. I think that we are at least in 20 laps going to see 2 to 3 more cautions if they keep racing the way that they are, which would not surprise me. Like I said, they know that clock is running out. Points are on the line. Championship points are on the line. They're going to give it everything they have, Jeremy. They're going to keep her floored until they see checkers or God, one of the two.
I thought you were going to make a pun and say the Martinsville clock was out, but...
I thought about it, but you already did the Whataburger pun, so I figured I'd leave that one for later.
With me, they're endless, so... Here we go, back to green flag. The first yellow spoilers in 6th place from Grim Reaper, so they still have a little bit of work to do. They were further back, but they keep picking them off one at a time before the caution comes back out. Except for JJ McCoy, who was dumped. Here we go.
Big.
3-wide wreck. And, oh no, the 79 Stephen Knight. Oh my God, upside down.
Run.
Turtle.
Upside down and turtled.
The biggest wreck now in the books is on lap 181. And come on, 5. Help. Kenny Heath had the perfect time to flip him over, but said, nah, waves his hand out the window. You can't park there. And we're going to take a couple looks at this one. Huge wreck here. They had it good through 3, Dustin. They get to turn 4 exit, and all hell just quickly went crazy.
Oh, it did. And in a heartbeat, too. So you're going to see the entry here. Side by side. And Yep, the 31 looks like he had to roll out of the throttle a little bit to stay out of the back of the 12, and it was that accordion effect, and there's no space. You see the 79 of Steve Knight get involved, the 13 of Stephen Hayes. You see it right there, you see Knight go by, collects a little bit of his teammate there, Bobby Mantle. You see Lester gets involved. We already know that EJ Luna gets involved in that one as well. We know that right there, heavy impact there. Danny White pushes Harrington into the 31. 31 slides, and Harrington goes on his lid. You do not see that very often in Martinsville, Jeremy, at all.
Flips are kind of common when it comes to racing, especially at super speedways, but for it to be perfectly on its top, it wasn't even resting on the nose. It was just 100% on the roof as this camera is about to break. You got the Nerd TV logo blurred right there on the roof cam. That's a great spot for it, but we're going to drive this logo straight into the asphalt.
He got ARCA braked hard, and there you go. We lost the feed, but he got ARCA braked hard. He was slowing down. That was full speed. So he's seen it. He was on the binder, slowed down was good, and bam! Just gets plowed.
And we're going to go to the roof camera of the 64 Danny White. I have a couple people in my life who don't know or are just now learning what ARCA brake means. And I'm just going to take a little lesson here. This is what ARCA brakes look like. Okay, we're racing. Wreck, slow down. And we're just going to drive through them like there's nothing going on. He hit 4 trucks driving through there like they're bowling pins. And that's ARCA brakes right there. I guess bowling would be the better term for Danny White in that one.
Right. And one thing that I noticed from this camera angle, Jeremy, is there was another incident that happened going in to turn 3. That was between the 60 of Dow and the 22 of JJ McCoy. You see contact made, and that just demolishes JJ McCoy. You see his front bumper clip comes off, just demolishes that. So there was 2 incidents that even took place here. And that one there is what led to the 57 there. You see Dow finally comes to a stop, and everybody else finally coming to a stop there. And then JJ McCoy gets looped as a 31 of Hollinger tries to get going.
I would like to see that McCoy wreck on the back straightaway. I really do. But actually, we're going to go back to green flag here, so we got to kick it back over. It almost looked like they tried to wreck each other. Couldn't tell here, but here we go. Green flag. For the 21st time, Barney is flying the green flag in the air. We have 14 laps to go here at just simply the clip 42. No! And speaking of clip, the 85 gets
did they save it? They save it. Oh, wow. What a bit of driving there by the 85 of LeBlanc and everybody behind him, too. I mean, that was wicked as we watch a replay there. I mean, he's got that thing at 45, 50 degrees. Bobby Mantle behind him checking up. Oh, EJ Luna gets lifted there by the 31 of Hollinger. He's 90 degrees, and then Hollinger says, here, let me straighten you back out there. And they just keep going.
The 5 in the back, watch this, turn 3 and 4 as well. Just 89 Mantle. Yeep. So he goes around, and then 5 wrecked off of turn 2 at the very tail end of the screen. And this is now back to live feed here. And the battle is not a yellow spoiler. It's Ghost Motorsports drivers right here, 1 and 2.
And then 1 of 1 Motorsports there with Slade, who has led this race as well. He's in 3rd. So these drivers here, look at the space, Jeremy, even between 2nd and 3rd. And then look at the space between 3rd and 4th as these drivers are battling it out right now.
Second longest green flag run this evening is going to be at 10 laps to go, 9 to go at the line. 2 truck links separate the number 1 and 15 here. Joshua Slade hoping there's at least one more incident, which would be the 1 and the 15. But he's currently sitting P3 podium. If you can come out of this race, Dustin, top 5, I'm going to say put a Martinsville clock as my trophy anywhere, because just to survive this thing alone is amazing. But to get the top 5, like, man, you got some luck on your side here tonight.
You do. And the unfortunate thing, Jeremy, is if we're sitting here looking, I mean, we had It's Not Lame talking about Grim Reaper creeping up, and they were. I mean, that's when that comment was made, was about 50 laps to go. They were running 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And Jeremy, the highest running Grim Reaper Motorsport driver right now is Bobby Mantle in 9th. So how quick the tides can turn here at Martinsville is just, it's astronomical.
Yeah, a wild card, if you will, more so than Daytona and Talladega, from what we've seen in all of our races we broadcast in 2024. Martinsville
look
is
at
that
this.
track.
Look at this. Not to cut you off, but you want to talk about perseverance? Bobby Mantle out here driving an open wheel modified, still running top 10 right now.
You cannot put enough grill tip on that thing to give it down for us. He is just out there doing his thing with no bumper cover whatsoever. A literal trunk modified here with 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go right now. Mike Hayes out front, got about a 3-truck length separation between himself and his teammates from Ghost Motorsports, DJ Honeycutt. Honeycutt got a little loose off that last corner. Looks like Honeycutt's drifting up in the corner, Jeremy. Might be losing some grip. There's more space and distance now in between Hayes and Honeycutt. Slade in 3rd right now, trying to hold on, seeing if he can't pick off 1, maybe 2 more positions if the dice fall right for him. And then you got Tyler Honeycutt back there currently holding the 4th position. And Stephen Hayes in that Whataburger truck locking down that top 5 is Carlos Henriquez was running 4th and has now fallen back to 6th. But this is a nice little 3-truck battle right now.
Yeah, this is technically, well, this is top 5. Henriquez is the only truck out of the top 5 in this picture, as you just mentioned. And so 2 laps to go. Is there going to be a move made? Well, here comes the 13 and the 20. Honeycutt Tyler makes a mistake, and now Steven's going to take it as we get to Elevated Esports Racing. 1 lap to go here. Finally, we're going to see a flag other than green or yellow. And down the back straightaway for the final time, Michael Hayes, 3rd fastest in practice.
3rd different winner for this series and this season right now, crosses the checkered flag, Jeremy. So 3 for everything tonight.
Once he got to the front, Dustin, he did not leave P1. That truck, great restarts when he took the lead and just drove the wheels off that thing. Excellent job here by Michael Hayes.
It was. And that just goes to prove, Jeremy, if you look at most of the drivers tonight, he's going to burn it down here. Oh,
really?
Well, no, I think that was intentional because he's locking it at the wall and burning it down. Well, he was. I know how you like to criticize drivers that ping it off the wall during their burnouts. But, a number of drivers tonight, Jeremy, proved that being up front was the safe spot because when we seen Chad McGinley was up front, he didn't have any issues. When Slade was up front, didn't have any issues. And when Hayes was up front, didn't have any issues. We seen when McGinley and Slade got further back in traffic, that's when everything started falling apart.
I'm only laughing at Michael Hayes' burnout here because he had almost no damage done to that truck all race. I think one of the very few trucks that only had scratches and not dents. And he comes on the front straightaway all by himself and then dings the wall 3 times. That's why I kind of chuckle there. But there it is. That's your winner, and here's your unofficial results from the Clip 42. Michael Hayes, P1. DJ Honeycutt, 2nd place. Joshua Slade, your last podium in P3. Stephen Hayes, 4th. Tyler Honeycutt, 5th. Carlos Henriquez, 6th. Zach Collinger, 7th. Bobby Mantle, 8th place. Justin LeBlanc, 9th. EJ Luna finishes in top 10. 11th on back. Michael Lester in 11th. Ron Harrington in 12th, which I don't know how you flip it over like that and still finish 12th. That's impressive all by itself. Michael Down, 13th. Kenny Heath, 14th. Stephen Knight, 15th place. JJ McCoy, 16th. Chad McGinley, 17th. Mark Sherwood, 18th. John DeMatteo finishes P19. 20th. Danny White, 21st. Ronald Holmes and Austin McGill did not start the race, only put in practice time. Technically rounds out the last truck in the field in 22nd. We're going to go quick full screen commercial, grab our top 3, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the Martin Sports Post Race Show, this time from the Global Racing Truck Series League. And I do believe we got our top three pulled in the waiting room. So we're going to talk to third place first. It's going to be the number 12, Joshua Slade, and the Ghost Energy Zero Sugar Chevrolet Silverado. Joshua, do you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, what a marathon. What a battle out there. Just complete chaos. You had some big damage to your left front. Your hood was pushed in. And I guess my question to you is, well, two-parter. One, how did you survive? And two, how was the truck driving after the multiple wrecks you were a part of tonight?
The truck wasn't bad. Really, it was really good. It got to where I wanted it to be. Only thing is, I'm just kind of disappointed. I made some mistakes there, not going down pit road when I was supposed to go down pit road, and going down pit road when I wasn't supposed to go down pit road, and just wasting tires. So that was probably it. But the truck was really good, just spot on. I made the correct adjustments I needed to make throughout the race. I just more so race etiquette I needed to work on.
Yeah, 10-4 out there. I thought it was pretty good overall. There was a couple hairy moments where people wrecked around you. You did an excellent job. So, I mean, overall, um, good performance from my eyeballs, anyways, and good points day. Some of the guys in the top of the points did not have a good night, so it's going to kind of boost up that mid-pack stuff. So hopefully this is a turning point and get you some solid finishes for the rest of the 2024 A season. But floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
Yeah, it was a rough race, but glad to make it through. Shout out to One of One Motorsports and all of our drivers. I want to just apologize to Bobby, where we got into it there. We'll talk about that privately, but just great race. Me and him usually have better racing between us, but shout out to you guys in the booth. You guys put on an excellent broadcast each and every week. And I just want to be up here getting interviews every week and just talking to you guys. So I'm just gonna push and do my best.
There we go, man. Go ahead and do it second time this season, and hopefully we'll talk to you more here shortly. Have a good rest of your night.
All right, you have a nice one.
Thank you. That's number 12, Joshua Slade, and that Ghost Energy Chevrolet. And now we're going to bring in Ghost Motorsports here. First and second place on the board. This is going to be the number 15 of DJ Honeycutt of the Sparko Toyota Tundra. DJ, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, oh man, you and Michael Hayes somehow have the cleanest looking trucks in the field. You got a couple small dings on that thing. Had some run-ins with a couple drivers, but all in all, toward the end of the race, you guys somehow broke out to a big advantage. So how did you and Michael get to that point late in the race to just kind of break away and have a drive of your lives to get P1 and 2 for the first win of the 2024 season for your team?
Yeah, it was fun. We didn't get to run as many green flag laps as I would have liked to, but the ones we did, me and Mike were really fast, and we ran two different setups, so it just so that we were pretty good with whatever we had. And he was a little better off, I was a little better in, and yeah, we were just that much faster on the end of the run. I know the guys behind us, we were kind of on equal tires. We had some guys with newer tires, but we had so many caution laps that it didn't really do anything to affect us, but. Yeah, I was super fast and happy with the truck firing off. I feel like I can get in the corners really well and roll the middles and get to the throttle real smooth off the corners. And it really helped me early on in the race. I kind of messed up my qualifying laps and didn't run as hard as I could have. And started a little bit behind where I could have, but got to the front relatively quickly. And I was behind Chad when we pitted that first time. So I was really happy too because I ran the wrong setup for practice for a while. So I didn't get many practice laps in this setup. So it was good to just have the truck feel really good, and it helped to really maintain its grip and its balance throughout the change in tonight. But other than that, it was a good race. Great for our team to have a 1-2 finish, and wish it was one place higher, but just how it ends sometimes.
Yeah, when you have a race that you need to survive first and then finish second, you and your teammate did a great job. So basically counted as a victory because, a lot of other people had way more issues than what anybody else did. So, and yeah, driving on a pretty bad setup in practice kind of gives you some motivation when you throw in the good one. All of a sudden you're like, wow, I feel like a new driver. I can do some things now. And it kind of probably helps the psyche a little bit. But all in all, great race once more. And final thoughts before we let you go this evening.
Yeah, appreciate you guys broadcasting, and hope it wasn't as bad as it felt with all the caution laps. But yeah, just shout out to all my guys at the Ghost Motorsports and my family watching at home. And thank y'all again for broadcasting. Have a good night.
Absolutely. You do the same, man. Congrats once more on P2.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And that was the 15 of DJ Honeycutt and that Sparko Fanatec Toyota Tundra. Now it's time to rotate to your race winner, the number 1 of Michael Hayes in the Black Rifle Coffee Company Toyota Tundra. Michael, congratulations on that win.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, what a race.
What a race. Absolutely correct. You're 4th fastest in practice. You hit a qualifying time of, I did not expect that lower 0.6 out of you, and then you kind of survived from that point. You got most of the guys that were up front early, they kind of got dumped and sent to the back, either by themselves or by tire strategy. And then, yeah, with some fresh air, that number 1 truck came to life. So kind of just walk us through the back half of that race. How'd you get yourself in that position?
Yeah, well, going back to qualifying, I mean, my best time here was like an 18.8, so that 18.6, whatever it was, that was definitely surprising to me also. But yeah, I mean, I knew it was gonna be avoiding a lot of carnage tonight, so it was a good thing. I don't even know if I got an X. I might have got a 4X somewhere along the way, but just trying to keep the truck as clean as possible throughout the race. And luckily the truck was fast, so I know on that first pit stop, I kind of got shuffled back to mid pack, and it definitely got sketchy trying to avoid some stuff back there. But yeah, just kept the truck clean and eventually got shuffled up to the lead and just held on to it.
Yeah, first win for Ghost Motorsports in the 2024 A season here, and you guys do it 1-2 back-to-back with your teammate DJ. You mentioned you only had maybe 4Xs at most, but I kind of laughed when you got to the front stretch to do your burnouts. Truck looked really clean, and then you nosed the wall twice, back it up into it one time. So it looks a lot worse than what it was at the start-finish line to finish the race. So you just wanted to make a race version out of it, didn't you?
I knew that was gonna come up, and I blame the new wheel. I got a new wheel and a new setup and everything. I'm still getting used to it. I haven't done a burnout yet, so that's something I have to get used to too, hopefully.
See,
But
I would have
yeah.
sat here and said it would have been like, hey, it's the first time this season I was in victory lane and got the chance to do a burnout, so that's why I was a little rusty on it. See, I would have went with that angle.
And plus this track is really tight, so I blame the track. It's not me, it's the track.
This man can drive really good when he's fast, but when he's trying to go slow, he hits everything but his marks. But yeah, man.
Exactly.
Congrats, though, man. All jokes aside, P1 and P2 for your team. Love to see that. Hopefully, that's a momentum boost going through the remainder of the season. But floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
Yes, big shout out to Ghost Motorsports. We had a heck of a night tonight. We avoided a lot of stuff. Tyler kind of got some misfortunes throughout the race, so I'm sure he would have been right there up with us if he could have stayed out of it. But shout out to Ghost Motorsports, and a huge shout out to you guys for broadcasting these things. This one will definitely be an interesting one to go back and watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tyler finished 5th, so all 3 top 5 there. So not a bad outcome for all the things he went through tonight. But yeah, man, congratulations once more, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too. And that was Michael Hayes, the number 1, finishing P1, brand new wheel. So a lot of firsts here for Michael and his team this season. Dustin, 20 cautions, a lot of chaos, trucks upside down, guys playing hide and go seek on pit road. There's a lot of stuff going on here tonight. Kept you busy, huh?
Absolutely. But like I said, I mean, it's typical Martinsville. I mean, we talked about it. A high caution count is not uncommon. It's really not when it comes to this track. Especially if you look at it, it was on the later half of the race after we went past lap 100 of the 200 scheduled distance that we actually started hitting a lot of those cautions. It's because that internal clock, that Martinsville clock, Jeremy, starts running out. And that's exactly what happened is, drivers trying to make the most out of every opportunity. And like we talked about it, if they see daylight, doesn't matter how much or how little, and that clock's running out, they're going to try to capitalize on it. So definitely got to see those short track tempers going on, a couple moves that some drivers were not happy with other drivers. It was a typical Martinsville short track race through and through. So it's all cautions aside, and I know drivers are probably going to say it was a crap race. You know, if you look at that, those are the drivers that probably didn't have the best luck. We've all been there, Jeremy. We've all done that. You know, we say a race is crappy usually when we're the ones that, you know, are on the receiving end of it. I know I've done that before. But it's a typical Martinsville race. I mean, it really is. Overall though, it was good. It really was.
My second Kyle Busch reference of the night. The only time that the winner of a race, or at least the top three, has ever talked crap about a car or any situation was Kyle Busch in the first COT race. Wins the race, says the car is crap. You know, outside of that, no. If you're P1, you're gonna be all happy. You're not gonna talk anything bad about it, unless you're talking to your teammates, of course. But yeah, that's Martinsville. 20 cautions here tonight. I think the third or fourth most we've seen in our broadcast careers of 3 years. So quite eventful. And those guys are for sure going to enjoy watching it back. It is our time to sign off, though. We got 2 hours of WrestleMania to go, and we got a little video to break down our sponsors one last time. So you guys, hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. Have a good rest of your night. We'll catch you on Tuesday.
This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com. TWRS. Got the rig? Got the sim? Now get the speed with setups from TeamWatsonRacing.com.
Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue, we fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter, there were times when there was joy, but they took it